We go on board here with Annual April as we get into the Volkswagen Rookie Cup, first race of the season. Fantastic to see a whole bunch of new rookies joining us for the 2026 season. Majority of them, of course, have come out of karting. Luke Hill was here last year, so he stays on for another season. Sebastian Venkov joins him on the front row. Our cameraman is the man in third place there, Annual April. Jack Moore replaces his brother Josh, who we'll see in action a bit later on in the Volkswagen Astron Energy Polo Cup. Looking forward to a big battle there as well later on today. But I think Jack Moore also is feeling that he's got a little bit to prove here today, ahead of Sebastian Diaz and Max Corbett. And right at the back there, great to have Keon Duomo back again as well. We saw him a couple of weekends ago. In fact, last weekend at the regional side of the Extreme Festival. Open up his account and get an opportunity to get into a race car for the first time before he pilots the Rookie Cup cars around the Killarney International Raceway for round one of the Rookie Cup Championship. Now remember, this championship basically the champion of the 2026 titled race heads into a full sponsored polo drive with Volkswagen Motorsport in the 2027 season. It's one of the prizes that's up for grabs. So all of these rookies will be looking to hunt that down. Christopher Tate, last year's champion, of course, has already moved up, and he will see him in action too later on today as we get into the Astron Energy Polo Cup. We'll see a couple of the rookies that have come through the ranks of Rookie Cup that have moved up into the Astron Energy Polo Cup, and it just shows you how well that particular outing is working in terms of the marketing and promotion that Volkswagen have done with their brand to bring in a Rookie Cup option to allow karters a bit of a stepping stone before they climb into the fully fledged Polo Cup. It's quite a big step if you come straight from karting into Polo Cup. A lot of the guys were saying it's just too much, so Volkswagen met them halfway and are giving these little polos to play in. These are the 1 litre turbos. And April is our cameraman. He'll be showing what it looks like from on board. Might get a couple of shots from him from the reverse angle of that camera as well. We've got in-car footage too. If the driver gets a little bit animated in there, we might get to see exactly what he's up to as well. Great to have opportunities like that. And nice to have our team, of course, now collaborating and bringing us this particular reverse angle shot, the one I was just chatting about, of Anwell, just getting the heat into those Dunlop tyres. So Luke Hill set the pace this morning, or yesterday, in qualifying. He did a 1:33.650, but if we look at the whole field, it's literally split by almost a second and a half, so hardly anything in each other between these 7 drivers. A real interesting little battle here between those top 4 though. All of them in the 33s. Diaz and Corbett were just outside of the 33s on a 34.004 and a 34.012. So hardly anything in it between the top 6. It's Keon Duomo that has to maybe find a little bit extra pace here, but that normally happens in the race. That race pace, and the red mist comes in, and all of a sudden you get to find about a couple of seconds more than what you were doing in qualifying. Hopefully that can happen for him. There you can see the magnificent backdrop that we have here at Killarney International Raceway, and a massive thanks once again to the City of Cape Town and to Smile for joining Killarney International to bring us all this race action, as well as of course our team that are out there from the Extreme Festival's live stream production side of things. So not only are we bringing it to you live stream, but we've got some radio action going out here as we had last weekend up at the regionals as well. So the media are starting to pick up on how this format of racing is picking up as well. And the more the merrier in terms of media coverage that we get for this particular category, and of course for the Extreme Festival as a whole. So they come under the City of Cape Town Bridge and come to take up their positions on the grid. It's a standing start. Luke Hill will set them off. Venkov alongside him. As they come to the line now for the first time in 2026, there must be some nerves, some worms in the stomach, or some little concerned faces, I think, in between the visors and the helmets. Final thumbs up there from the boss man from Volkswagen Motorsport. Standing by now. Shouldn't be too much of a wait. There we go. Not a long wait at all. Under starters orders now as we go into the boards. 5-second board comes up. We're about to get lights on. When those lights go off, we go racing. There we go. Oh, and it's a terrible start there from Luke Hill. Looks like he might have stalled on the grid there, and he loses out. And that is definitely something you don't want to be happening to that early on. Sebastian Venkov got away nicely, but so did Jack Moore. And it looks like there's a bit of a fight on as they head into turn one now. A little bit of a argy-bargy there and a little touch. But that's all Rubbings racing when it comes to these cars. They're so evenly matched. As they came off the line there, Luke Hill was left stranded and could not get off the line at all. So he's got a huge mountain to climb here. Pun intended on that one. He's dropped down to about 5th place there by the looks of things as the 57 car. Maybe squeezed up into the 4 spot. But as they come down there, it looks like it is Venkov who leads out as they come into the bottom end of the track for the first time and through Damstep. Some work to do now for these guys. They really are working hard right from the word go, but the man who has to work the hardest is the pole man who got it all wrong. A little bit of extra pressure there on Luke Hill. I don't think he started on the front row at all last year in his first year in Rookie Cup, so would have been a little bit of pressure on him, and unfortunately he buckled under the pressure there big time. So we got 3 cars and then a second pack that's opened up now. So there's a little gap there between the top 3 and then 4, 5, 6 and 7 as they go down into Cape Town corner for the first time. Late braking and opportunities opening up. Sebastian Diaz trying to keep out the attack coming from Luke Hill. They're side by side. This is Annual April now going alongside and looking for a chance to squeeze up into possibly second place as they come onto the main straightaway. April's on the wall, but he'll have Venkov alongside him. Not Venkov, sorry, Jack Moore alongside him. Jack Moore in the blue lipstick car there. As they go in there, he's going to hang on, only just, but that's close. Forced around the outside was April Anwell. Our cameraman getting the high and wide line, and the 2 of them are off track completely. So Anwell and Moore go off the track and slot in right at the back of the pack. I think they might just get ahead of Keon Duomo. Yeah, they do. They just get in on the inside of Keon Duomo. Ooh, Luke Corbett having a little bit, or Maxi Corbett I should say, having a little bit of a sideways action there as well. So Max Corbett just getting a little tail tap as they went into Castrol Corner now, coming out of that one. They seem to have sorted things out. Here comes Jack Moore on the inside, trying to get back and squeezes through there on the 21 car there, Max Corbett. So Venkov has got the advantage here, big time. But already up into second place, Luke Hill, after that little mistake on the line. Didn't take him long, it's taking him about a lap and a half to get back up into the top 2. Using a little bit more experience that he's got behind the wheel of these cars, having had a season in it already last year. Let's see if he can keep it all together now as they head down onto the braking point for turn 5. He's under attack there, big time. Sebastian Diaz is looking left and right, trying to find a way past on him. Further back, our cameraman has dropped into 4th. He closes the gap down on Diaz as they come out of Fastron Corner. Over the little kink and through to complete another lap. That's 2 down, 6 to go. Venkov with about a 2-second lead now over Hill. Hill over Diaz. Diaz applying the pressure, keeping that pressure on. Then it's Annual April, the cameraman. He's there in 4th, being closed down by Jack Moore. Jack Moore not as quick that time, but he was battling a bit of traffic than what we saw earlier from him. So Jack Moore now with a bit of clean air, maybe can bridge that gap to the back of Annual April. As they're on board now. See in the background there, that blue lipstick car there of Jack Moore, but look at the smooth driving style here of Annual April. He's looking pretty tasty in the cockpit there, actually. Jack Moore pulling slightly now. Max Corbett seems to have dropped right to the back. Yeah, he's got a problem. So it looks like he's had some kind of an issue there. He dropped right to the back of the pack behind Keon Dwamo. Through Sorrel sweep and onto that back straight away. The car's so evenly matched, you have to be right underneath that bumper to gain any advantage that might be available with a slipstream. If you're not close enough, that slipstream won't come into play. See Jack late on the brakes. Wow, so late. And in fact, following on there is Keon Dwamu, learning from Jack Moore on where to brake so late. And the two of them were pretty evenly matched through turn 5 there. Good to see. Learning from each other, yeah, big time on track as they race each other. Remember in the original format of Rookie Cup, we used to have the coaches in other cars around them as well to try and give them a little bit more of a pack feel. Cars around them all over. They don't seem to be worried about that too much now. The coaches do all the coaching from the sideline. This year, of course, Matt Merton and Brad Liebenberg are the two coaches concerned with Rookie Cup. Into the brakes and into turn 2. A little closer this time from Diaz. Diaz putting the pressure onto Luke Hill. He's got Anwell coming along for the ride as well, not too far behind him. They come through the sweep and down into Demps. Venkov still maintaining it. It's about a 1.6 second gap now. So Luke Hill has closed the gap down slightly for second and first. Still a little bit of a gap down to Anwell, a bit more of a gap to Jack Moore. Jack Moore's got Dwamo right with him. Fortunately, Max Corbett has dropped to the back and just can't bridge that gap at all. Working on his own there at the back is going to make it very difficult for him. Venkov's got to just keep his head down here. Not make any mistakes. Possibly wrap up the first win for 2026 in the Volkswagen Rookie Cup. Good run so far from all of these guys. Oh, somebody ran wide there. I think that might have been Anwell. Anwell running wide, yes indeed. That's Jack Moore who'll look to try and capitalize on that. He realizes that there might be a bit of a chink in the armor there. Jack now closes rapidly onto Anwell. Watch him try and pull him under the brakes. Diaz trying to do the same thing here to Luke Hill. Luke Hill goes defensive into turn 1. Jack has closed that gap down ever so slightly as well. Diaz looking the most dangerous car on track. He's going to try the high and wide line. Watch for the cutback. Try and cut back into the exit of turn 2, Castral Corner. Wasn't quite able to do anything about it. I think he tried that too late. If he got that move done earlier, maybe he could have worked out. But he's lost some ground now and compromised his drive out of turn 2. But then again, Luke Hill pushes himself completely off track. Watch in the background as well as we see Keon Dwamo off the circuit as well. So Diaz might be able to come back now at Anwell and look for a chance. At Hill, I should say, not at Anwell, at Hill. Luke Hill in second place there. Under threat now from Sebastian Diaz under brakes. Into turn 5. He had a look. Wasn't close enough. Little lock up though, coming from Luke Hill in second. He's going to be kicking himself for that mistake on the line. Big push here from the front end. Sebastian Venkov. And looks like also a change up there from Jack Moore's point of view. Has he got through on Anwell? I think he might have. Yeah, they come to the break point and heading down into turn 2. Diaz is right there with Luke Hill, but Jack Moore was looking dangerous. Didn't quite get there though. As I said, these cars are so evenly matched. There was only 1.1 second difference between all 7 cars when it came to the top 7 or top 6, and then another half a second down to 7th place. So 1.5 seconds between these cars is nothing, which means it makes it very difficult to try and overtake because they're so evenly matched. You've got to try and force a mistake out of your rival ahead of you or behind you. Big push on here. Get into the halfway stage. Venkov just maintaining the lead, but being just reeled in slowly but surely. This is Anwal's point of view as they go through Sorrel Sweep. Jack Moore just ahead of him. So Jack has got through, now onto the back straight. Is there a chance here maybe for him to squeeze through? Here's a look on the outside. It's a bank corner, so you can use that outside line. Here come the leaders to the line though. Venkov still maintaining. Oh, and Anwal's off. Anwal ran a little bit high and wide. He's gone to the back of the pack now. So the cameraman just getting it all wrong coming out of turn 5. Would have been because he wanted to try and go as late as possible to get ahead of Jack Moore again. And wasn't able to do that. Luke Hill, Sebastian Diaz coming out of turn 1. Evenly matched between the two of them. Nothing in it, in fact, between them. Lap times 33.7s on both cars. Incredible run here from these two for second place. Luke Hill was the pole man, made a small mistake, stalled on the grid, got overtaken by almost the entire grid, got going again, and he's made his way back to second. Now he has to try and think about, is second place good enough for now? Still a long way to go in this championship. Do I just defend and keep Diaz out, or do I keep hunting down, looking for Sebastian Venkov and maybe stealing that first victory of the season? Venkov is just watching the mirrors all the time to make sure that he maintains a relatively decent margin over these guys. That's the plan. Can he keep it all together is what we'll have to wait and see. Hello, Lullies. Coming onto that little straight now towards the main finish line. Anwal at the back this time. That's a little bit better. Didn't run high and wide off the track like he did the last time he went through there. And you can see he knows that he made that mistake. So Venkov going to try and hang on now for one more lap. Final lap of race action. And look at the pressure coming from Diaz. Seb is looking left and right to try and find a way through on Luke Hill. Luke Hill defending left and right as well. Keeping the boys out. Luke Hill does not want to give this one up. He will take second place after the mistake he made because that's a good recovery. But is it going to be Sebastian Diaz who's going to spoil his day even more and drop him to third? Venkov, I think, has got this one. Should be enough to keep that 1.5 second gap over this next couple of Ks. About 2 of them to go now. As they come out onto that Tigerberg straight. We're still under a bit of pressure though. It's not being quite his own way all the way through this. Kian Duomo is definitely looking for a chance to spoil his day. So Duomo versus Jack Moore. Oh, here we go. Little change up from Sebastian Diaz's point of view. Tried to catch Luke Hill out there with a fake to the left. Luke was having none of it. Sebastian Venkov's having none of it, and neither is Jack Moore. So to the line, it's going to be Sebastian Venkov, Luke Hill and Sebastian Diaz. That's your top 3 for the first race of the season. Behind them, Jack Moore and Kian Duomo for your top 5. Duomo will be very happy with that. As I said, he was trying to look for that little couple of extra seconds pace. He found it in the race and moved himself up into the top 5 with the demise of Max Corbett and Anwal April during race number 1. So there you have unofficial results from the Volkswagen Rookie Cup Race 1. It is Sebastian Venkov, Luke Hill and Sebastian Diaz ahead of Jack Moore, Kian Duomo, and a nice run from Max Corbett and Anwal April for your 7th place. But April, Corbett and Hill will definitely be looking to improve as they go into race 2 later on this afternoon.